Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is SockBot, and today I'm doing first impressions for early access because, why not? And also, I've been playing so much. If you missed yesterday's live stream, I played for 4 hours straight, and that was after 2 hours of just playing so I could get a handle on everything again after the beta. But yes, today I want to do first impressions of early access, talk about things that have changed since the beta, things that are really concerning, and most things that are just really good. If anything in this video comes off as negative, by the way, I hope you know that I love Dreams, but I also want to talk about the things that aren't perfect, because, well, I do have a big concern, and I think it's only one so far, especially because I streamed for 4 hours and did not crash until, like, hour 3 and 58 minutes, and that was really impressive. So no crashes yet after dream surfing for straight 4 hours. I think I played like 60 levels, or maybe more than that, but regardless, yeah, like I said, first impressions. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe. If you want to see more Dreams content, I got more specific scripted videos coming out in the near future, so feel free to subscribe. Maybe like the video if you liked it, but no pressure, because, yeah, you don't like it, you're not gonna like it. It doesn't make sense, right? Alright, let's get started. So first I wanted to talk about the diversity of the levels in Dreams so far. I realized that during the beta I was really focused on creating, and I don't think I spent enough time just searching through levels and finding different levels. The Dream Surfing feature is perfect for that. If you don't know what it is, it allows you to just click a button and you'll automatically dive into a level, and from there you'll go through level after level after level, just basically random, well-rated ones, partially based on what you actually enjoy playing. So far it's been pretty random because it's just the amount of levels that were on the beta. There's not a whole lot of random levels that are, like, I guess, meet the quality threshold to be included in this, but that being said, I don't really understand how it works. All I know is that I played a bunch of levels that I had played already, but then as I've dream surfed more, I didn't play those again. And so when I launched into this, I saw so many different types of levels that I would never have searched myself, but that were really high quality. I played through a bunch of platformers, obviously. I think that was probably the most prevalent thing, but next most prevalent was, weirdly enough, survival horror. There's so many survival horror games in Dreams. I'm, like, truly surprised. I wonder if it's because they're relatively easy to code. Like, if you look back at the old Resident Evils, they're not, technically that advanced. They're just very interesting, and they're good stories, and the creepy environments are the main focus of that, not particularly the combat, but the combat is still there. I did not see one with a lot of combat yet. I saw ones that were kind of leaning towards that, but it seems when they would get to that point, it was like, okay, the rest of this will be in the full game of Dreams. So, that kind of makes sense. We didn't have that long during the beta to create stuff like this. That being said, that is not the only thing that I saw. I also saw another type of game that I played a few of that were super interesting. So there was a lot of puzzlers, and that's probably the next most thing under survival horror, but I would rather talk about this next thing because it's something that I did not know about. There were a lot of point-and-click games within Dreams, and I know that people had talked about before how this was the perfect game for that, and I didn't really understand how it would work to have, like, a first-person point-and-click game using the Dreams controls, but it works perfectly. You can control a character while still having imp on the screen to select and point and click, obviously. And I didn't know that. I didn't realize that you could keep imp there while you were so-called possessing, I guess, or maybe it's not possessing. I'm not sure what the technical part of it is yet. I'll figure that out when I actually dive more into create mode next week, but it was super impressive and it worked really, really well. I did notice, a couple small issues. First was that sort of point and click thing. Personally, I have no problem with it. From where I am sitting between the two places that I've played Dreams so far, which is at my monitor directly behind my camera, and I sit probably 2 feet from that when I play, and then my television in the living room, I'd probably sit, I don't know, maybe 15 feet from that, so pretty far. Maybe like yeah, no, it's like 15 feet, maybe a little bit more than that, because normal controllers don't actually reach the couch. But I was sitting there and I had no problems at either place using the imp pointer. I think maybe people are complaining because you have to recenter imp, somewhat regularly, but if you have to do it once between every level, like, is that a big issue? You just hold options, it takes 2 seconds, and then it works perfectly. I've had no problems with it. In create mode, that's a different story because it's just, you have to get used to it there, but that's not for this video. So the other problem that I ran into that I want to talk about again very briefly, and this one I experienced personally and constantly. The load times for Dreams in beta were instant. They were instantaneous. They were so fast. I was so impressed, and I was, like, just baffled that they could load this quickly. And now, even smaller levels that don't seem like they should take very long to load, like, oh god, what was it? Curiosity, the robot level that was in the beta, had a pretty significantly long load time. And I mean significantly long compared to what it used to be. The load times are still like less than 5 seconds. So it's not a big deal for loading into levels. It's much faster than Little Big Planet. It's faster than pretty much any other game you'll find. The issue comes when you're in a level like some of the ones that were created during beta that would have different scenes that would, you would have a doorway from a main hub area. You'd go through that door and instantly load into another scene. Then you'd go back to the first scene and you'd be loading scenes a lot. And when that's the case, which is going to be quite often, I'll talk about that in a second, it's going to really hinder a couple different types of levels, especially the ones that are more advanced. So, for example, what we've learned so far is that the thermometer in Dreams is a bit temperamental, as you would expect. Certain things drive it up a lot, other things don't drive it up much, and it's basically everything we had in Little Big Planet. Reusing assets is your, greatest golden rule. But within Dreams, it's more meant, these scenes are not meant to be an entire level like one in Little Big Planet was supposed to be. Little Big Planet had level links, and this has the doorways between the different scenes. But again, they are scenes. They're meant to be like a room or a couple of rooms or like a center block on a city. They're not meant to be the entire city. They're not meant to be the entire house. They're meant to be their own thing. And because of that, these long load times, and I say long, again, it's like less than 5 seconds, still could significantly impact it. I think if you've ever played through even the remake of Resident Evil on the GameCube or the original Resident Evil, the load time with that door opening slowly, that was probably about 5 seconds. And because of how often you had to load, it did get quite bothersome. It didn't ruin the game, and for Dreams, I don't think it's going to ruin the game. I expect them to speed it back up. I think it was just a big shock coming from the beta when it was so much faster. And related to this, and this is the final negative thing I want to say, because I want to end on a positive note, and it's a really big positive note, a couple of the levels that transferred over from the beta didn't transfer over so well. Again, I go back to Curiosity because that was one of the coolest levels in the beta, in my opinion. It's very simple, but the robot's movement and a lot of its animations, I guess, were off. Pretty significantly off. The creator is going to have to go back in and recreate it or fix a lot of things. And I don't know why, because there was no issue in beta. I wonder if he recreated it or she recreated it exactly the same, if that would fix it, but I don't know. But again, that is the only issue I have so far. Finally, I just want to end on the most positive note of all, which is that every single critical thing that I mentioned here does not affect the game to an extent that I think it's really going to change how people view it. It's just a little bit of a, can we tweak this? Media Molecule, is it possible to fix this? If not, it's okay, but I just want them to know it exists and that I noticed it. And as someone who played for 4 hours, I can say, or 4 hours straight, rather, I can say that it did really notice it. But again, this is just my first impressions. We'll see how everything goes according to this week. I'm not surprised if that loading time bug, or maybe some of the glitching bugs with the levels transferred over the beta, are fixed in the near future. And more specifically, I wouldn't be surprised if they just fixed themselves because so many people were playing yesterday. I mean, again, it was the release day of early access, and everyone's been waiting for this for a while. If you check the Little Big Planet, or not Little Big Planet, if you check the Dreams Reddit, which is a good place to pay attention to Dreams news, yeah, a lot of people were playing it. There were posts from yesterday with hundreds of upvotes, which is surprising considering the community 2 months ago was 1,000 people. Anyways, long video. Sorry if I was too excited. Well, actually, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm glad I was excited. And I think I meant to say I'm sorry if I was too critical about things. I want you to know the game is going fantastic. It feels great. I think you can very clearly tell the difference between people that not just know what they're doing, but spend a lot of time to get the feel of characters right. But between that and things that were just kind of slapped together a little bit based on the base stuff. But you know what? I'm not going to critique anyone because I know that my levels are going to be a little slapped together at the beginning too. Anyways, I hope you all are doing well. I hope that this helped in some way identify some problems that maybe you ran into, but if not, please comment down below things that you liked or didn't like, or if my issues you didn't see at all, which is totally possible. I do live on the East Coast, so if the servers are... if there aren't American servers, that could also be a bit of a difference, but regardless, thank you for watching. I will talk to you guys in the next video, which will maybe be later today, maybe tomorrow, but I posted 2 videos today, so probably tomorrow. Either way, have a great day. I'm enjoying Dreams, like a lot. All right. Goodbye. Bye, guys.